Welcome to episode 3 of Hot Topic Tuesday here on the POV Podcast, the best and only POV for all things World of Warcraft related. Thank you so much for joining and listening to today's episode. Excuse me, we're already off to a bad start here. But today's hot topic is going to be, drumroll please, are add-ons necessary for playing World of Warcraft? Now, I have been asked this many a time in my lives, in my videos. I am constantly asked two things. What add-ons do you use, and are they necessary? So I figured we would turn it into a debate, even though I'm debating myself here, and ask those who are listening, do you think add-ons are necessary? Because I have my answer, and you guys already know that I use add-ons, so of course, I think that they're not necessary to playing the game. Bet you didn't see that one coming. But it comes down to a couple things, so let's dive in. When you're talking add-ons, you're not thinking about anybody but yourself most of the time. You are thinking about, what do I need to play this game a certain way, and what do I need to play what I'm planning on playing for endgame, whether that be PvP or PvE. And I am a person that chooses to have add-ons because of the content that I do. And add-ons just make it a little bit easier. Do I think I could do what I do without add-ons? No. But I am a very specific type of person. And you guys know I get distracted a lot of the times. Like, I have trouble focusing. So unless I have something yelling in my ear, I'm usually like a butterfly flying from flower to flower. So I need something to kind of bring me back to earth and like be like, hello, focus, interrupt. Get out of that. You're standing in something bad. So that's just me personally. Do I think that they're necessary to play the game? No. And my first reasoning is because not everybody's playing the game in a way that requires add-ons. And a subset of that is not everybody enjoys having, a cluttered UI because they have so many add-ons, and it makes playing the game unenjoyable. So and I always use like me versus my dad, because my dad's a very, very casual player. He's about as casual as you can go. Versus me, I do a lot of endgame stuff. And I am a person that needs add-ons. He is a person that doesn't. He has been raw dogging the game for a very long time. He only just now installed this DPM. But it depends on the way that you're playing the game will correlate to how many add-ons you want or need. And if you're a person like myself that plays a lot of endgame content, add-ons are a necessity. Yes, add-ons are a necessity for endgame content, no matter what kind of content it is that you're playing at endgame. If you're a person that plays PvE, you're going to want an add-on like GTFO or Deadly Boss mods. Like, you're going to want those kind of add-ons, versus if you're just a person that's running around, you maybe do the random heroic here or there, the random LFR, like you're just collecting things, you like doing your professions, whatever. You don't need add-ons necessarily. And I want to make this very clear that I'm also not just talking about retail in this. I'm also talking about Classic up to Pandaria. And I will do a deeper dive into add-ons in Classic towards the end of this segment, but I'm mostly focusing on retail, but I'm not excluding Classic from the conversation, because add-ons are available for Classic as well. Even though they didn't used to be back when like Vanilla came out, like add-ons were not like such a big thing until like later expansions. So I'm mostly referring to retail, but Classic is not excluded from the conversation. So my first thing, again, is how you play the game. My second reasoning for why I do not think add-ons are necessary, and I'm saying add-ons that you can go to CurseForge and download, is that Blizzard is starting to implement them into the UI. Now, this has been going on for a little bit of time now. We've all heard that eventually when Blizzard perfects having, for example, OmniCC, right? I use OmniCC. It shows me my cooldowns. It shows me, what it suggests I use next. It shows me the literal numbers to the seconds of when something's on cooldown and when it comes off cooldown. Like, it shows me that. But Blizzard built that into the UI as well. So we all know that when they perfect, the big add-ons, they will probably phase out using or allowing you to have those add-ons installed. That is not going to happen in the imminent future. I'm not saying that by October 1st you're not going to be able to have Omni-C installed. But I'm just saying that they are making strides to make the game more user-friendly at the get-go. In nature, the game is more user-friendly versus you having to go out and find things and add-ons to install that make it more user-friendly. Probably the best thing that they did was they overhauled their UI, so they made it editable. Because I can tell you, oh my god, I have hated Blizzard's UI like the entire time I've played the game. Did I ever really install an add-on that fixed it? No. But being able to now go in and move boxes, and it's so much easier. So they are making strides, and I think they've come out with a lot of them, and I'm going to actually show you and break them down for you. But them taking the steps to make the game more user-friendly naturally is huge. And I think because of that, and especially the ones that they have already implemented right now, add-ons are not necessary. Those are my biggest two reasons. Now, I will go into a little bit of a subset of all of that. Because while I am somebody that uses add-ons for endgame content, and I'll walk you through exactly what it is that I use and exactly what it looks like, I am also a person that believes there is such a thing as too many add-ons. You guys will hear me say this a million times. I don't care how many times you guys tell me to get weak auras. I'm not fucking installing it. I do not like or understand weak auras, okay? I have tried them, even ones that you guys have put the code in for. It goes over my head, all right? I believe in understanding the situation, whether that be the situation that is my class and race and talent specialization and what I'm supposed to be using. I would rather understand that to a T than have something tell me what to do. So I know weak auras, like, you use a lot with raiding too, and I do understand why they're used by people. Do I think it's necessary? No, but I'm also coming from a limited range of knowledge on that. I'm only just now getting into raiding, so if I get more into raiding and I'm like, I can see why they're useful, I might install it. But I do think that there is such a thing as too many add-ons. I have seen some players' screens, and holy shit, how do you decipher it? Maybe this is because I have attention issues. How can you, how do you know what's going on? Like you can't sit there and tell me you can literally understand and read 100% of your screen while doing what you need to do in the raid or the dungeon or whatever. There's just no way. I refuse to believe it. I don't care how good of a player you are. When you have that cluttered of a screen, and I know somebody's going to say, but that's how it was in Classic. I know, I was there. We have gotten advanced. We have advanced people, and we can now have cleaner UIs. Have clean UI, please, for my sake. And you know what? A lot of people compliment me on my clean UI, but that's because I don't have a million add-ons installed telling me what to do. I don't have things flashing on the screen constantly. I can't personally stand it. Like I said, I have attention issues, so I can't stand it. It distracts me. It makes me not realize what I'm doing. It makes me not able to focus, and I don't like it. So yes, find your happy medium when it comes to add-ons if you're going to use them for endgame. If you enjoy and thrive in the chaos of a cluttered UI, by all means, go. Live your life. But know that you may have a little bit of an obsession or something. I'm just saying. So why do I think that they're not necessary as a whole is those reasons. Blizzard's implementing them. You can have too many. And it depends on the content that you're playing. So let me show you and walk you through what add-ons I use and explain why I use them. Because it's one thing for me to sit here and tell you, oh, this does this and that does that. But until you hear from somebody why it is that they decided to download that, you don't understand why the add-on can be beneficial until you see it. So I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to show you what I use, and then I'm going to show it to you in game as much as I possibly can, because I'm not going to run a key right now for one of them. So I'll show you as much as I possibly can. And I'll invite you into my world of add-ons because there's not a lot of them. Like, I like a clean UI, and it's going to stay that way. So, this is my CurseForge. I use CurseForge for all of my add-ons, but I also use wago.io, and I will show you guys that because some of them require imports. And that's okay. Everybody learns a little bit at a time. So if you want to just start with downloading the add-on, we can take one step at a time into how to actually use the add-on. So right off the bat, this is in no particular order other than alphabetical. So let me go through it alphabetically with you. We're going to jump as to what they are useful for because it's alphabetical and it's not like Mythic Plus, So just bear with me. And if you're not listening, if you're not like looking at the screen, you're just listening to me, don't worry. I will explain to you what the pictures are showing. All right, so first off is Angry Keystones. Now, I did not use Angry Keystones, admittedly, until like season 3 of Dragonflight. I didn't know what Angry Keystones was until I was in a Mythic Plus and I was healing, I want to say, the Mythic Plus with my Druid. And the guy was talking about what percentage they needed for mobs killed in a Mythic Plus dungeon because you have to reach like 100% of mobs killed, whatever. So I'm like, how do you know that you're at like 92.76%? I was like, that's very specific. Like, how do you know that you're there? And he was like, oh, I have Angry Keystones. And I was like, what the fuck is Angry Keystone? So I had to look it up and I had to download it because this has changed the Mythic Plus game. Angry Keystones, number one, automatically pops your keystone into the font. So like you literally just click on the font, there goes your keystone. Okay, so that's like a life change. Like that's not necessary. You could drag and drop your keystone if you really wanted to. But essentially it shows you a more detailed version of the objective tracker. So that includes a bonus chest timer, extended progress bar, the death tracker, the keystone linking, an auto gossip, which I'm not actually sure what that is. Options, you can go in and change things as well. You can configure it. But what a bonus chest timer is, and I'll read this right from them so nobody can say I didn't explain it properly. It adds a secondary timer next to the main one to show the time left for bonus chests. Shows in gold for time for 2 bonus chests and in silver for time for 1 bonus chest. It also adds a line on the timer bar when this mark will occur, and I'll show you what that looks like as well. The extended progress bar shows more exact information on how many enemy forces progress is needed, so that's killing enemies in the dungeon. Either displaying it as a more exact percent, for example, 24.19%, or as a numerical value, 90 out of 372, or both. I do it percent-wise because I want to do math, okay? It will also show on enemy tooltips how much progress they give after killing them once. You learn how much progress they give. So, for example, Halls of Atonement, that last guy before the end boss is worth like 6.7 something percent. So when you get to, like, by the time you get to that last guy, you need to have at least 93% completed. So it is very helpful, especially when you're the tank and you're going through your routes and you're kind of putting together, like, okay, I know these guys equal 6%, so, like, I need to know that I have 93% before we get to them. And it's okay if you mess up. I mess up a lot. The percentages this season are a little weird. Anyways, back to it. Death tracker, it literally just shows how many deaths you have. Little gravestone shows you how many deaths, and it shows you how many people have died and what amount of time it has added to the dungeon. And then keystone linking. Keystone links you'll see in chat from Mythic Keystone to Keystone Archway level 5 will also color it gray if it's depleted, yada yada yada. So this I have never noticed, but it says auto gossip during Mythic Keystone dungeons. It will automatically select gossip entries for you. Oh yeah, okay, I do know that. So let's look at what this actually looks like because I'm not going to run a +2 right now or anything right now. So let me show you what it looks like. You can see on your Mythic Plus like section, if you're in a party, you can see who has what key. So you don't have to sit there and bug people for what keys they have. They have to be in your party and it'll show up. Like, this is an old picture, but this says Siege of Borealis 11 and it's who it has it. Simple, simple, simple. This is an example of what the chest looks like, the chest timers and your percentage timers. So for those of you that are just listening, this is an example, again, of a Vault of the Warden's dungeon. So an old dungeon, but it's a level 7 key. It shows you the affixes that it has. It looks like bolstering, or I don't even know what that other one, but it shows you the affixes, and if you scroll over the affix, it'll show you what it actually does. Then you have the current time. So it's currently, there's 16 minutes and 35 seconds left. That's in big white letters. So the big white letters on Angry Keystones will tell you how much time exactly you have to complete the dungeon. So when you start out, it might say like 32 minutes. The smaller text next to it, the gold yellow text that says 3:23, that says you have 3 minutes and 23 seconds to reach a 2 chest. You'll see that there's also the little gold mark on the bar. That is 3 minutes and 23 seconds from now. And when you break that, you end the 2 chest. You'll also see on the right the little gravestone, and it says 3. So there were 3 total deaths. And like I said before, if you scroll over the gravestone, it'll say who died and how many times. You'll also see below that there are the bosses for this dungeon. It'll tell you who the boss, well, as you're going through, it'll like tick off that you've killed X boss, X at, whatever point. And you'll see whoever is left is obviously a 0 out of 1. And then at the bottom, it says enemy forces. This particular screenshot shows it at 84% and 84.76%. So you have completed 84.76 out of 100% of mobs killed. So you now know you need an extra 16 or 15 and change percent to get to 100%. This is extremely helpful, especially when you're the tank. Like, I cannot stress that enough. Having this add-on and tanking has changed my Mythic Plus tank game. I'm just going to say that. So do I think that this one is necessary? Yes. Why did I install it? Because of that. It changed my Mythic Plus game. It made me a more aware player, and it made me realize that as I'm tanking, I need to be more focused on this, and this helps me plan my route. That's why I installed it. The next one, Bagginator. This is not necessary. Not necessary, built in. Bartender, I think it's still necessary. I'm not a huge fan of the action bars in Blizzard's UIs. So essentially this just allows you to rearrange your action bars and what they look like. And you can keybind still within Bartender, but it just makes it look a little bit nicer. And I'll show you how I set mine up. Is it necessary? No. Why did I install it? Because I like pretty things and I like things to be a certain way. Same thing with Bagginator. Is it necessary? No. Why did I install it? Because I installed it when, again, the bag UI wasn't as nice. But is it necessary? No. I like pretty things. The next one, Cursor Trail. Is this necessary? Absolutely fucking not. This is a pretty nice to have add-on. Literally all it does is allow you to change what your cursor trail looks like in the game. And I will show you what I have because I have a couple different ones, but you can have like lightning, you can change it to look like a ball of wrath if you're a druid, and I have them set up for my classes. Necessary? No. Why did I install it? I love it. I like pretty things, and Morgan told me to install it. The next one is DBMs. Is this necessary? Yes. 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 Even if you are a person that does delves only, this is very, very necessary. Please listen to me. My life changed when I installed DBM. I can't tell you how important this add-on is. My entire gameplay changed when I installed this. Now, essentially, DBM and GTFO are very similar. I prefer DBM. You can use whatever you prefer. What this add-on does essentially is TLDR, it tells you what to do. If you're in a dungeon and you're standing in shit, it says move. If you're fighting mobs and something needs to be crowd controlled or interrupted, it says interrupt, crowd control. Okay? It literally tells you. It shows in your UI, it'll show you what abilities are coming next from the boss. So last boss of Arkara, she does Cosmic Singularity. You can see the cooldown on her Cosmic Singularity. And then as it becomes like the last 10 seconds or 5 seconds, I want to say, it pops right to the center of your screen so you can see it. So that allows you, number 1, defensives. Number 2, interrupts. Number 3, it lets you know what phase of the boss you're going to. And it is so helpful. And even for delves, because it does the same thing, you have to have both of these installed. You have to have DBM, DBM Core, and then I installed DBM Dungeons, Delves, Visions, Raids, everything. Highly, highly, highly recommend. I cannot stress how much this add-on helps. Extremely helps. And I have muted my Discord notifications as a sidetrack. I've muted my Discord notifications so many times for desktop, and they just still keep popping up. So I apologize if you're seeing Discord notifications come in. I try my hardest. I try my damnedest. And you know what? Even if I open Discord right now and I tell it to stop sending me push notifications, you know what it's going to do? It's going to send me push notifications. So, you know, go at your own risk, I guess. Okay, back to it. Details damage meter. This one's a 50-50. So details damage meter is, I prefer details. There's a couple different ones. I prefer details. It essentially shows you versus other people in your party what you're doing damage-wise, but you can also search for things like interrupts, healing done, damage taken. There's so many different versions of details that you can look at, and you can have multiple screens of it open. So like if you're a healer, you want to have a healing screen open, so like healing done, but you also want to have like a DPS screen open too. Because for me, when I was a healer, that helped me decide who to res first. Who to be res first. And if you're looking at it, you can see like in a party, you can see everybody's color and class color and whatnot. So it does just help know where you are in terms of the rest of the party. Is it necessary if you're not a person doing like extreme end content? Probably not. If you're just moseying through the world, you don't really need to know. It's not the end of the world to not know, but when you are doing dungeons, and this is the reason I installed it, when you're doing dungeons and endgame content, it's very important to know where you stand in relation to other people. That will never change. Dynamic cam, nice to have. I installed it because it is party. I don't use dynamic cam to its full potential. Literally all I do is, and I'll show you, I have it set to like clear my UI when I dragon ride, and like when I go AFK, it spins around in a circle. Literally, that's it. Friends list colors, another nice to have. It just shows you what, like your friends that are on, it shows you their class colors. So person's a druid, it's going to show up orange, shaman blue, and it shows you their level as well. Is helpful, necessary? No. Handy notes. I'm going to say this one is necessary even if you're just a person that plays for funsies, because handy notes is not only great for like world things, finding things on your map. You know, if you want to treasure hunt, especially for collectors, handy notes is very essential. But it just makes the gameplay that much better. Like it shows you dungeon entrances, it shows you like boats, flight masters, all that kind of stuff. It just makes life that much better. And I don't know why I have Legion and War Within. I must have forgotten to delete this. I try to keep it only to expansions that I'm currently playing in, but Blizzard did do a better job with showing you things on the map. I will say handy notes, while I do think it's a necessary add-on, are you going to die without it? No. Helium, this is just what I heal with when I heal with, and it just makes it that much easier because you have everybody. I won't use it for raiding, but if I'm just in like a Mythic Plus dungeon, I have literally everybody there, the same ability every row. I can change it to class colors to know who is who, and it just makes it that much easier to heal. When somebody needs to be debuffed, it shows you a big, you know, it highlights their name. It shows you their health bar moving. You can customize it very, very, like, nicely, I will say. Mine was very pretty. But I just thought helium was easier. Is it necessary to heal? No. Instance achievement tracker. This is mostly for all the, like, collectors and the people going and doing, like, old content, maybe. Okay, I'm literally going to mute this again. Turn off all notifications for Discord. Let me go to my notification settings. I don't want a banner. Okay, there we go. Sweet. All right, we changed that. Sorry, sidetracked. Instance achievement tracker just helps you complete instance and raid achievements. That's literally what it comes down to. Nothing wrong with not having it. You can track your own achievements mentally. You don't need to have this. It just makes it that much easier. Mount journal enhanced, kind of the same thing. You don't need to have it. It just makes your mount journal look pretty. And I got it because I'm a mount hunter. Makes it that much easier. Mythic dungeon portals, I literally only just installed this. It literally just takes, if you've timed your 10 keys and you've gotten portals for those keys, it just puts it all in one spot so you don't have to go to your spell book and find them that way. Necessary? No. Do I like it? Yes, that's why I installed it. Name to chat? Not necessary. This is a nice to have, and I installed it because I want people to know when I'm on like a different character in the guild that it's me. Because I don't use, I'm not a person that names my characters necessarily like after myself, because I've had a lot of these guys for a lot longer than I've been streaming. So it just puts in parentheses what you want to be called. So like if I'm playing Delnadrin, it'll say Delnadrin, parentheses SCF. Nice to have, necessary, no. Narcissus, again, very nice to have, necessary, no. And I'll actually show you that one. Omni CC, now I talked about this before. It essentially shows you text items, spells, and abilities that are on cooldown and indicate when they will be ready to use. It turns all standard analog cooldowns into digital ones. And it's very, as somebody again who loses focus, it's very necessary for me because I need to be able to know exactly like, and it helps with your rotation too, like knowing, okay, that spell's off in a second, I'm going to use this. It's just, I think it's necessary, or a version of this is necessary when you're doing endgame content. It's that simple. Plater, necessary for endgame content. The biggest reason that Plater is necessary, and I was just talking to Tyler about this the other day, Plater is very necessary because you need to be able, especially when you're the tank, and you just need to be able to see the mobs and what they're casting, because that tells you what to interrupt. So Arakara, for example, you have those mobs that are casting Revolting Volley. I have my Plater set up so that it's, the nameplate, so it says who they are, and it shows their health going up or down, whatever. And then underneath it, and I increased my size from my import that I did, but I just increased the size of it because I'm hard of seeing, and it shows what their cast ability is. So when we're fighting the mobs in Arakara, and we know we need to crowd control and interrupt Revolting Volley, and we're having multiple of those casters in a single fight, what I will do is I will just look at the screen and see which one is starting to cast it, and then I will use the interrupts. I will be happy to let a web bolt go off if it means that my interrupt will interrupt Revolting Volley. But the only way I really know that that's happening is because I have to be able to see it. So that's why I use Plater. And it just makes it look nicer, and it's not, honestly, being the tank, like, it helps me know who I have aggro of. Raider.io is necessary if you're doing endgame content, specifically Mythic Plus and raiding. It shows you a breakdown of the character. It shows you their current season score, their previous season score. Sometimes it shows the main season score or their main's score if they're like on a ult character, but it doesn't always. I don't know. It's very weird sometimes. It shows you their best run, and it shows you timed runs. For example, the picture that you're seeing right now on the screen is timed +5 to 9 runs, and it says they have 20 plus of those. It also shows you the rating progress that they have, so it'll show you normal and heroic, maybe mythic if they've done mythic, but it just helps you when you're building these groups. And as you guys probably just listened to, I talked a lot with Tyler on Sunday about building groups in Mythic Plus and how it's necessary to look at things like this. And we're not looking at your Raiders IO score to be like, oh, well, you're only at 200, so we're not taking you. No, I'm looking to see, have you played this character outside of this season? Have you done raiding? What is your best score? If you have never done a 9 Arakara because you've only ever done a 2 Arakara, are you ready to do this 9? Like, it helps just understand the player a little bit better. I think it's very necessary, and that's why I downloaded it, to help build better groups for Mythic Plus. Next one is rarity, not necessary. This just helps if you are a mount hunter, a collector of any kind. I downloaded it to help, not necessary. I actually kind of don't even use it. Silver Dragon Rare Scanner, again, not necessary. I only downloaded it because, again, I'm a collector. I like hunting things, especially rare mobs, mobs that drop mounts, toys, pets, whatever. So I use it for that reason, but it is not necessary to your gameplay. Syndicator, this is not necessary, but I will say for any player, this is like one of the better add-ons you can download that's like almost like non-existent until you realize what it is. So Syndicator keeps track of and searches for and shows in tooltips where your items are in all your characters' bags, banks, mail, auctions, warbands, guild, gold, currencies, anything. So for example, they show battle pet bandages, you know that is warband, and you can tell that in the inventory, this particular person that on their account, they have 84 in total. Lenka has 49, Dexy has 12, and in the warband bank, they have 23. it just helps you, like, especially if you're farming for something in particular, it just helps you know, oh my god, I already have 2 of those in the bank. I would say it's not necessary, but it's a very nice to have add-on for literally any kind of player. TomTom, again, is one of those add-ons where it's not necessary, but if you're a person that has either trouble getting to places or you're a new player to the game, this is a very helpful add-on for you. It places waypoints and it shows you your coordinates in-game. This add-on, you can copy a waypoint with like the latitude, longitude in it from the internet, like from Wowhead, and paste it into the game, and it'll show you an arrow of where to go. It's been extremely helpful for me because a lot of times when you're looking up guides in Wowhead or whatever, they use coordinates, and I never knew what the coordinates were until I downloaded this. It's just been super helpful. Can you get around without it? Yes, I did it for many years. I only recently installed TomTom, like I want to say like a year ago. So it's not necessarily necessary. Does it make gameplay that much better and easier? 100%. Vendor, this one I kind of stopped using. This one was really helpful for like the WoW collection event. I kind of stopped using it because it glitched out and I don't think it updated to 11.2. So, oh, it did. Maybe I'll turn it back on. Essentially, all that Vendor does is you can set rules, and it sells 12 things at one time, so you don't have to constantly keep clicking. It sells 12 things at one time. You can go back and see if you sold anything accidentally. You can make rules that like, hey, don't sell anything over a 600 item level. It's just very helpful. If you're collecting a lot of things, like you're running a lot of old content, collecting a lot of gear, whatever, it just makes it more helpful. But again, not necessary. I only downloaded it because of the event. And the last one is wowop.io, and we just talked about this on Sunday as well. This is helpful for a comparison. Does it compare pretty much the same things that like maybe Details Damage Meter does? Yes. However, the biggest thing that this compares you to is like all other players of the same spec and keystone level. So like it shows you where you are in relation to other players, not just you in relation to your party. So when your dungeon is over, you'll get a little thing that pops up on your screen, and it'll show you, these are not what it looks like currently, but it'll show you essentially you and your party, how many interrupts people had, how many deaths, healing done, damage done, and then it shows you in relation to other people. I think it's very helpful if you're somebody that's looking to get better, looking to grow. Are you going to die without it? No, because it only pops up at the end of the dungeon. But it's great to see, like, for example, interrupts. I interrupted 20 times. That person only interrupted twice. Like, we need to get you to interrupt more. Like, it's very important that you're crowd controlling and interrupting. So if you're playing with other people, I think it's great. If you're playing with random people, is it necessary? No. It's okay if you don't have it. You're not going to die. So let me now show you what those all look like. Well, what I can show you what they look like. And again, I'm still getting Discord notifications. I can't. I literally can't. I literally can't. Yeah, it's been... Add-ons are important because they make gameplay easier. But again, like I said, WoW is implementing them slowly. So it's okay. It's not the end of the world if you don't have them. Like, if you're a person that just plays the game for fun, you don't need add-ons. You can play the game at your own whim and have fun doing it your way. Nothing tells you that you need add-ons. Please don't listen to anybody that says you won't get anywhere without add-ons, because they don't know exactly how you're playing the game. They'll never know until they're sitting in your chair. So play the game how you want to play. If any of these add-ons that you see me use will make your life better, then use them. There's nothing wrong with that. Or better or more fun, whatever it ends up being, play in your own way. So let me show you what a few of these do. I'm going to first start out with the training dummies. So first of all, this is dynamic cam, right? I started flying and my UI disappeared. So this is one of the settings I have on for dynamic cam. And as soon as I land, it's going to come back. Boom, back. But as soon as I go up, gone. Back. All right, so let's start with the Raider.io profile. Let me find somebody. I mean, you could see it on me too. Oh, my camera's blocking it. All right, let's go to pre-made groups. Let's look at dungeons and let's find a group. So first of all, right here, this is part of Raider.io. Why am I still getting notifications? I genuinely, guys, I don't even know what to do anymore. I have literally turned off notifications for everything. It's sorry, I'm getting distracted. See my focus. Like, we just talked about this. Okay, so this right here, and if you're only listening, I pulled up the dungeon finder and went to like Mythic Plus, and right on the screen to the right of the dungeon finder shows me, my IO. So you can see I'm currently sitting at a 2062. My best run is in 8 streets. I have 3 7 to 9 runs timed. I have 18 4 to 6 runs timed, and I have 10 2 to 3 runs timed. Shows you what I did. So I had a +8 Dawn, +8 Streets, +7 Arakara, +6 Gambit, and plus Priory Sacred Flame. Timed. The white means I timed it. The gray means I didn't time it. So now when I'm looking at other people, right, it pushes that out and it shows me their square. So for example, the person that listed this group for a 9 Gambit has a druid, a guardian druid, an arcane mage, and a mistweaver monk. All right, so I know that the person that listed it has the little crown next to it. So the Guardian Druid listed this. They are currently sitting at an 1866 score. Their best dungeon was a 4 Gambit. Their best run was an 8 Ecodome. And if I go down a little bit further, I can see, again, their current score is an 1866. Their season 1 score was a 2651. Their main's best mythic score is a 2720. And their main's mythic score right now is a 2368. And then I can see what they, again, what they've timed the best. Then I can see that their last raid progress was Liberation of Undermine. They did normal and then heroic. This gives me a more complete picture of who this person is, who listed this key. So they've clearly played Guardian Druid before. They clearly have a different main other than their Guardian Druid, and the main is essentially who has the better score. Their main, I have no idea what it is. I would have to ask them, but I can see that they have different classes and characters that they play. So again, it just gives me a more complete picture when I'm looking at who to invite and whose group to join. I think Raider.io is huge when it comes to putting together groups, and I think it's necessary. So that's Raider.io. Looking at, again, I have like Omni CC, so I'm going to use Hunt. Boom, 1 minute. You can see I have 8 seconds. You can see 24 seconds on the first charge. It essentially just shows you what your cooldowns are. And I like that. I think that that's necessary, for me at least. So that's the other one. Let's see, what other, Bartender and Bagnon. So I have Baginator. This is Baginator. And it does it for your banks as well. Bartender is why my action bars look like this. And if you can't see, I like to do them in stacks of 3. So I have 3 across and then 4 down because that's what the mouse that I'm currently using is. So for me, I'm very hand-eye coordinated. So if my bars look like this, then I'm able to use those abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to have them all be the same across so that my hands are feeling what my eyes are seeing, if that makes any sense. And I would recommend, if people are also like me, where you need to have that connection. This is one thing I hate that Tyler does. His bars are like all horizontal. I need to be able to see what I'm feeling and feel what I'm seeing, and then I can play. So that's just me. What's another one? Angry Keystones I can't really show you in game unless I run a key. Oh, Cursor Trail. If you guys notice, this is my Cursor Trail. I have like a little purple like orb sphere, and then I have a green trail that kind of looks like fell, and that's because I'm a demon hunter, so like purple and green are like our colors, but I also have different ones for like my druid and whatnot. So this is what Cursor Trail is. DBM, it's gonna be a little tough to show you. This is Details Damage Meter. So this is me, my DPS and my damage. If I right click on this, it shows me all of these options that I can have. All of them. So you can change it to whatever you need to change it to. Next one, dynamic cam. So I showed you a little bit. So when I go /AFK, my camera rotates. It's just fun. It's not necessary. Again, it really is not, but it's just fun. So for those that are just listening, I'm literally just standing here and the camera's rotating around me at a certain speed. My UI is clear. And again, I do a lot of filming content, so this is necessary. And all I have to do is step, and eventually it comes back. Next one is handy notes. If you look on the screen, this is going to be a little hard to explain, but I can see rares. Okay, I can see rare spawns. I can see the circle that they take if it's connected. Like if, you know, an Addon wield, when you got the cradle, like you had to go to different places. It shows you where it's connected. It shows you what it drops. It just makes it that much easier. There's chests on here, and you can filter for what you want to see too. Handy notes, it just makes it that much easier. Dragon glyphs were on here as well. I obviously have gotten all of them, so I'm not going to see it as much. I really like handy notes. They have one for every expansion. Totally up to you. Instance achievement tracker, again, kind of hard to show, but it just shows on the right-hand side what achievements you don't have, and it shows you how to get them. This is Mythic Dungeon portals. You can move it anywhere on your screen too, but you can go back to other seasons and use the portals there. It wouldn't, oh, now it is, because it wouldn't let me do it the other night, but you can, if you're trying to get around the world, this is also a great way to do it. Mount Journal Enhanced is if you go into your collections and you go to mounts. This is why I really love Mount Journal Enhanced, is the percentages. It tells you when you got it, and it tells you how many players own this mount. So for example, the Azure Void Flyer, I got it on 9.6, and it shows me that 7.04% of players have this mount. And that's kind of cool to know. The other great thing about Mount Journal Enhanced is, let me find somebody that's on a mount. Oh, see that UI disappear? That's that dynamic cam. All right, let me find somebody on a mount. We're in Dornegal. This is going to be super easy. So I'm going to click on a player. Okay, I clicked on the player. I'm going to come up to Mount Journal Enhanced, and I'm going to hit Sync Journal with Target. And when I click that, it shows me in the journal my mount. So now I just immediately go to it, and I mount it. Another example, clicking that person, since I already have it turned on, it brought me right to their Cartel Masters Gear Glider, which I do have. So it just makes it that much more fun. When you see a person on a mount, you're like, oh, wait, I don't have that. That's the Sureki Sky Razor. I don't have that. So it just makes it that much easier. It's a fun add-on. I love it. Helium, I would rather show you on a different character. Details, we talked about this. You can change what your details look like. Totally up to you. This is what rarity looks like. Silver Dragon rarity. You can change the notifications for it. Plater nameplates is, I don't have them on for friendly players. I only have them on for enemies. So let's go back here. And I'm going to attack this guy. So if you look, before I attack him, just look at his nameplate. It's kind of hard to see, but it shows you his percentage and his amount of health. So when I attack him, you can see what I have on the enemy, right? It shows you what debuffs I'm putting on him. You can see his health is going down. And if he was to cast something, the bar will show up right underneath it. So I know what to interrupt. Now, can you get by with regular nameplates? Maybe. I haven't used regular nameplates in a hot minute. So for me, I'm not entirely sure. And while, yes, I do see their plate right here, it just makes it easy when there's multiple mobs that you're attacking to see who's casting what. When there's multiple mobs, I can see, okay, this training dummy to my right is going to start casting something that I need to interrupt. I'm going to click on it and interrupt it. That kind of thing. There's many different versions of Plater that you can install, and that's wago.io. I highly recommend you go to it. They will, there's versions for PvP, there's versions for PvE, mythics, raiding. You can get as detailed or as general as you want. Mine's kind of just a general one. And I highly recommend it. So this is what Bartender looks like. I know I showed you that it does to my bars, but if you want to see you can get very nitty gritty and specific on what you want it to look like. And this goes all the way down to your bag bar. Very simple, very easy to use. And the last one that always freezes my screen, this is, shoot, what one is this? Wait, hang on a second. Is this rarity? Yeah, this is rarity. So this, when you scroll over it, will always freeze your screen. Don't worry about it. This just shows you mounts and battle pets. This was huge when I was going back and, trying to get the mounts during the collector's event. But it goes by expansion, and it just shows you what you have and haven't defeated or gotten. And it shows you the amount of times it's taken you to try something. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. And I forgot that I could show you Instance Achievement Tracker here. So if I click on Halls of Atonement, these are the achievements I need. So it's very easy to use. And when you go into every instance, it's going to ask you, do you want to track this achievements? I usually just hit no right now, but totally up to you. So that's bartender. Last one I'm going to show you is Narcissus. So Narcissus is like more for a lot of like content creation. I just went into basic mode and it shows you like my sets, my Mythic Plus, all of that kind of stuff. You can also go into photo mode. I am definitely not the expert on Narcissus. I would have to say that the photo mode, especially photo mode expert, is Morgan. It's just really cool if you create a lot of content. Necessary, not in the slightest. Cool, very much so. You'll notice up here I have coordinates. This is TomTom. And I think that's it, mostly. That's what they look like. And as you guys can tell, especially if this is perhaps your first time seeing my screen, I have a very clean UI. I keep it clean because, like I said, I don't want a million things jumping out and yelling at me. That's not how I play the game. And that's not how I want to play the game. I like it clean. If I can't see what's on the floor in front of me, ain't no way I'm playing. So there you go. That's my add-ons. And I know I said that add-ons, I stand by what I said. Add-ons are not necessary. Do they make life easier? Yes. Are they necessary? No. As you can tell, I don't have probably a fraction of the add-ons that most people playing high-end end game content do. Will that limit me? Maybe. I won't know until I get there. But I really don't think that they're necessary, especially considering Blizzard's building them in. And it's going to take time. You cannot expect one day to wake up and there be every add-on possible built into Blizzard's UI. It takes time finding the right people to build them, implement them, launch them, beta test them, all of that. So you have to give it time. Blizzard's turning a new leaf and a new, attitude towards add-ons. And I think it's going to be good for the future. Now, in terms of using add-ons for Classic, use them. Oh my God, I like when I realized that when Hardcore and Classic came out, you could install add-ons, I was like, hallelujah. There is nothing wrong with using a questy add-on in Hardcore or Classic in general, because let me tell you, Blizzard did not help us, did not do any favors. I also liked, for Hardcore and stuff like that, I liked the guides that you can do, Rested XP guides. I enjoyed having add-ons. It did not detract from the gameplay. It only helped the gameplay because I felt like I could actually enjoy playing the game, knowing where I was going, what I was looking for, and all of that. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Don't feel ashamed to use add-ons, but also don't feel ashamed to not use them, Classic or retail. There's nothing wrong playing the game how you want to play the game. Can add-ons potentially make your gameplay better? Absolutely. Are they 100% needed? No. And I think I'm proof of that as well. You guys, again, I refuse to use weak auras. Does that mean I'm less of a player? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know until I use weak auras. I think I'm doing pretty okay. I'm hauling myself. As of right now, I really haven't gotten that much outside help. So I'm proof you can play the game mid-range and be decent. Take that how you will. But I'd love to know from you guys, how many add-ons do you have? Like, start with that. How many add-ons do you have? Because me, I have, and this is just for retail, I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I have 24 add-ons. I think that that's a lot. Like a year ago, I probably only had like 16, and I've installed add-ons since. There's nothing wrong with that. You live and you learn and you grow. Okay, so how many add-ons do you have? What add-on is your favorite? What add-on changed your gameplay? No matter how it is that you play the game, what changed it? And what is one add-on you would recommend to new players? Let me know in the comments below. I think for me, the add-on that I would most recommend to new players, if it's a new player getting into endgame, DBM or GTFO. If it's just a person looking to have fun, I mean, shit, TomTom. Let me tell you, that changed my life. TomTom was a game changer. So those are my two, and I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you disagree with me? Do you agree with me? What advice can you give? Because, again, I say this every video, this is a learning experience for everybody involved. You can be a veteran player watching me. You could be a new player watching me. So I want to have a conversation. Don't come in here with one attitude and that's it. Let's have the conversation, see how we can all learn and grow, right? I'm a person that plays the game how I want to play. You're a person that plays the game how you want to play. But let me know how you play it. Because I showed you. So now tell me. So I want to know. I can learn and I can help other players that are like you. That's the only way we as a community grow. And I'm not just talking about SCF community. I'm talking about World of Warcraft as a whole. Let's stop being one way or the highway. Let's all come together and talk about how it is that we play the game and how we can all help each other play the game. And I think that that's conversation does start with add-ons, because add-ons are highly, highly, highly debated. But thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go eat some lunch. I'm hungry. If you heard my stomach at all during this, I apologize. I'm going to go eat some lunch. I hope you had a fantastic Tuesday and the vault was good to you. Let me know what you got from that as well, because I'm sure, I haven't opened my vault yet, but I'm sure it's going to be horrendous. So let me know. And I will see you guys back for Forum Friday, episode 3 of Forum Friday. Hopefully we get some good forums this week. I haven't looked at them. I'm kind of scared, but I have faith in the World of Warcraft community. So if you like what you see, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. You'll be notified every time I post a video. I do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Sundays are with Tyler too. And we kind of just talk about topics, new versus veteran. We see difference of opinion where we come together on an opinion. And it's very interesting for me as a veteran player to watch somebody new come in and do what they're doing. So let me know. And again, click that subscribe button. I will see you on Friday. Peace out, Cub Scout.